All right. Welcome, everybody, to our season 6 finale, The Collective Mysterium. We are joined by our two lovely finalists, Eleanor and Aaliyah, as well as a plethora of our lovely jurors who are here to ask some fabulous questions to our fantastic final two. So how tonight will work, you'll each have 7 minutes for your opening speech. Since Eleanor won the final collective trial, she got to decide who would get to go first. So Leah will be kicking us off with her opening speech, and then Eleanor will take over with her opening speech. We'll pass it over to the jurors, who will have 5 minutes each, and then each finalist will have 5 minutes for their closing, with Eleanor going first and Aaliyah going second. Um, so with that, if Julia is ready with the timer, we will have Aaliyah start with her speech.
I'm ready, and Aaliyah, will start your time once you start talking.
Awesome. Quick question. When we're giving each other speeches, should we stay on camera or off camera?
Yeah, Eleanor, if you want to go off camera while Aaliyah does hers, and then Aaliyah, you can go off camera when Eleanor does hers.
No problem.
Alrighty, I guess I will start. Hello, Jerry. It's very nice to see you. First I want to start by thanking off everybody for being here and then for allowing us to be your final two. Very much was not Well, actually, no. I was expecting for us to be our final two. That was like fully my plan from the very beginning. So it's very nice to see us here. So thank you for production for a very fantastic season. Like this is probably my favorite game that I've played so far. Probably the best game I've played so far. I knew I wanted to play a dynamic game, seeing that this is like a mostly challenge-based game. In previous games I've played, I kind of been all over the place with challenges, but definitely try to excel. So when I saw that this was a challenge game, I knew that I wanted to be somewhere in the middle because that's one of my biggest problems in games is managing my threat level. So from the very beginning, I kind of wanted to play in the middle. I didn't want to be very good at challenges, but I also did not want to flop because I knew that's like how it would be in the bottom every single time. So from the beginning, I knew that I did not like need to win all the time. I wanted to focus on my social connections in the game and like try to lean on that a little bit. Going into each collective challenge. So at the beginning, I did not need to win, and I didn't. And I was safe every single time. Every time I would try to talk to somebody, they would tell me, "Hey, Leah, you're good," and that would be the end of our conversation. And that would go for half the people in the cast. For everybody that else I did talk to, I wanted to focus on getting close in the game, not talk about game when we talked about game. So people like Patrice, Ezra, Grace, Mac. I didn't talk about game like at all at the beginning of the game, and that worked for us in our relationships, and that kept me safe multiple times with those people. People like Patrice, I made sure that I saved during comps. Ezra even he talked about saving me, so I talked about saving him so that he would feel supported when we would have our conversations. Um, a couple of times I wanted to make sure that I was the person in power and the person making decisions because there was never a time that I was gagged coming into a trial or coming into a selection ceremony. I kind of always knew what was going on, even if it wasn't always in my favor, just so that I knew how to respond. Um, going into after Actually, going into the little vote where we had a tie, I knew there would be a possibility that there would be a tie because my full circle and another circle that I already knew fully, Jacob's, and that wasn't something that I knew from the very beginning. That was something that I actually figured out, and I would guess until he kind of broke and told me. It was never something that he straight up told me. It was actually something that Benji had done at the beginning and told Rachel, and part of Jacob's Circle came to me that way. So that's something that I could work with functionally. So when we went into the vote with Alex and Amy possibly being the people going onto the vote, going onto the block, that was something that came to me from Fabi. I knew that that was something that everybody else might be thinking, get out of comp threat. So going into that, I thought, okay, Alex, Amy could be somebody going home there. So when it wasn't Amy, And it was turned out to be Alex. That was a huge win for me because then I knew that that was one step closer to me being into collective every single time. And then when it wasn't, it was always somebody from my circle or somebody that would keep me safe. Um, I was very good at missing people in this game, and there was one person that I could not miss, and that was Miss Diva Amy. So I knew that I was going to eventually have to get her out, but after that break, she clocked me so quick. She knew that I was the person that probably led talking to people and getting to people to vote for her then. And I might not have been the person to convince every single person, but I was a leading person talking about her. And then when she came to me, that was one of the only lies I told in this game. I fully told her that I did not vote for her. Losing Jacob probably directly after that actually propelled me into the game because it drove me to do better and work independently. I started to hear that Eleanor had not decided who her final two was, and Benji fully was a final two with me. So I decided to make a split-second decision during that live night and choose Patrice to save and force Eleanor in the moment to choose me because by choosing me, um, Amy could no longer target me without targeting her, and there was no way she was going to get to the end without me. There was no way I was going to get to the end without Eleanor, and I knew that because she was the little comp beast that could, and I knew that. So I used that because I knew I couldn't win every comp, and I knew that she absolutely could. So we continued to trek along until we got out Amy, who was probably somebody who was going to be super supportive to Eleanor on the jury, and instead she let me vote her out super easy, which is super crazy to me. Moving along, we got to the end from the final, the last like 4 rounds, 5 rounds, there was not a time that a person that was not me or Eleanor was in the collective to save each other. Every single endurance comp I won, every other comp she won that got us to the end, and there was no way we were not going to after those few rounds, and I saw it very clearly. Once Patrice came to us and told us everything about his inner circle, I knew that we were going to win. There was no danger in my heart thinking that we weren't going to. In that final round, we were sitting there staring at that last comp. I actually wish that everybody was sitting in my proud chat because I did not look at that comp at all. I did not copy and paste one single picture because I knew Eleanor was going to win that. And I didn't need to be worried about that at all. I knew I would be sitting here today being able to explain why I deserve to win and absolutely have so many answers to your questions, and I'm prepared to answer every single one. So, with that, I don't have anything else to say, and I'm prepared for the next round.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Aaliyah. And now we will pass it over to Eleanor.
Hi. Are we ready?
Yeah, your time will start when you start talking.
Okay. Okie dokie. Hi, jury. I want to start by saying thank you to all of you for making this an incredible season. Um, I'll start off by addressing the elephant in the room. I know that a lot of people throughout the season have been talking about pre-existing relationships between this cast, and I personally believe that this can serve as both an advantage to someone like Aaliyah, who did have a romantic partner in the cast that they were able to, like they admitted, get information from really early on. I can also see it as a disadvantage and an advantage for me because I was able to use this to downplay my strategic thinking with everyone outside of my closest allies. Pretty much wanted everyone on the cast to think that I was unaware of what was happening throughout the season. And they would see me potentially as someone malleable, someone that is not locked in, someone that they can use as a weapon rather than someone that they saw as strictly a threat. Every round except for one, I did exactly what I told everyone I would do, and I made myself someone that people could trust but not predict. So when the perfect timing finally came for me to make the move that I had been waiting to make, I was able to make a cutthroat move that I needed to do in order to get myself to the end because I knew that Aaliyah had been dying to make that move. I made her wait until it was the right time for me. Starting at the beginning of the game, we were both in the first circle to lose a member, RIP Ray. And I immediately clocked that the two people in my circle were much closer with each other than they were with me. So I knew that I needed to find loyal people outside of my circle to protect me in the event that I was not able to win a competition. I identified Amy as a potential ally, but most importantly, a shield very early on in the game. And I was able to solidify my alliance with her during round 5 while she was on the block. Alex leaving the game that night changed everything, and it gave me the opportunity to adapt my game and pull in Mike V, who I literally had just voted against and told him to his face I was voting to banish him. I through competitions that people might not have thought that I threw once I had ensured my placement in the collective to avoid being in the top 3, to try to diminish my threat level. I don't know if that did anything, but I did. And then as circles started to begin to be exposed, this was the time for me to start playing harder and ensure my spot in the collective. So in round 8, I did go all out and get second place in that competition. I created an alliance during this round that I called the Bottom Feeders. It consisted of me, Mike V and Fabi, Amy and Patrice. And sadly, this alliance almost immediately crumbled as the circle's information got out, and Patrice decided to go with his original circle and protect them. And Fabi and Mike had to leave the game, and I immediately had to pivot and adapt once again. Luckily, Fabi and Mike V had both promised me immunity no matter which one got voted out. And so with that immunity, I was able to get creative. And so I gave Patrice a heads up, but I pretty much pretended to have beef with Patrice and Amy after that vote. That was mostly to appease my inner circle and also to keep people like Aaliyah targeting Amy over me. During my mid game, my loyal allies, Patrice and Amy, brought me tons of information about strategic conversations and alliances that people were creating that did not include me. And instead of panicking and overplaying and trying to like make fake alliances to protect myself, I adapted once again and leaned into this narrative of being left out in order to diminish my threat level and appear more emotionable and once again more malleable so that people could think that maybe like Eleanor feels like she needs a home. We could potentially get her to do what we want moving forward. This allowed me to get to the end game where when the timing was right for me, I blindsided the biggest competitor in the game and then proceeded to get first place in 3 competitions in a row, including the final competition that allowed me to bring Aaliyah to the final 2 with me. If you aren't aware of the strategic ins and outs of my game at this point, that is because I did not want you to be aware. I was very intentional about downplaying my strategic mind and my strategic moves in order for people to look at me as maybe more of like a meathead, like a competitor in comps, but needs someone to lead them. That was what I wanted. And I feel like it worked, I hope. But I never pushed my allies to do my bidding for me. I never relied on other people to get me to where I am. And the only time that I blatantly lied to people in this game was during round 12 when I was targeting Amy. And the reason that I lied specifically to Grace and Marvin was so that I was able to give them what I had promised, which was an even fighting chance in final 6. Had anyone found out about me and Aaliyah trying to tie the vote, they would have flipped the vote immediately onto Marvin, and then Aaliyah and I would be going into a final 5 with only 1 spot in the collective instead of a final 6 with 2 spots. So the main themes of my game were first and foremost adaptability. I came into this only having met 2 people from this game before and very briefly, and then trust in both my relationships and my allies that had my back, and trust in myself and my gut instincts. Lowering my threat level, whether that was cognitive threat level, social threat level, strategic threat level, and being very intentional about what information I did share and with who. And then finally, the timing. I was very intentional about when I made moves and who they were made against so that I would get the least amount of blowback possible and make it to the end of this game. If you guys have any questions about specific moves that I made or specific thoughts that I've had throughout the game, I look forward to hearing those and answering them and giving you a reason to root for me to win this game. Thank you so much. I'm done.
Thank you, Eleanor.
Sorry, that was a lot of talk.
Alrighty. Aaliyah, you can come back on camera now. Um, and we'll be going in order of the time that they went to the jury, which would start with Fabi. Unfortunately, he's not able to be here, but we do hope that Fabi is having a lot of fun because he's probably out drunk right now or sleeping because he was out drunk all day. So we will move on to our second juror who is here, Mike V.
Shit. Oh, I didn't realize it was still on frame. I was going to do a whole intro. And now, just barely missing the collective. Don't mind me dressed like this. I had this planned, I promise. That was not planned. Anyway, congratulations on making the final two. I'm standing so I don't get DQ'd from this. If you know, you know. I did have two questions. I feel like one of them kind of got answered a little bit, but I'll save it for later. But most importantly, I want you both to tell me who would you sit in the final two with out of pick a member from every circle besides your own. Who would you sit in the final two with out of each circle? I didn't know how to phrase that. I still don't know how to phrase that. So fun.
I can go first. You can go first, Eleanor.
Whatever you want to do. Go ahead, baby. Oh.
You can go first because
okay.
No.
I've got like at least one of them. Okay, so from the circle that you were in, Mike V, honestly, I think I would have gone with you or Fabi. Initially, I would have probably wanted to work with more long term than Fabi as the game progressed because we got to talk more than him and I did. Once you and I connected, I was like, this guy's gonna ride or die for me. And you don't let someone like that go easily. From the Jacob and Ezra circle. That one's a tough one. Honestly, I feel like I'll come back to that one. Who are the other circles? There was Mac, Patrice, Amy, and Mike J, Patrice, obviously. That was my like ride or die as well from the bottom feeders. Starting from the bottom, now we hear. And then probably Jacob or Ezra from their circle, just because they were the ones that were there in the second half of the game. And then out of Marvin and Grace, definitely Grace. I loved her energy and how upfront she was with me about everything. And then I feel like there's the circle I'm forgetting. The circle with, am I forgetting one? Nar. Okay, thank you.
Interestingly enough, like I actually have very similar answers. From the Amy Patrice Max circle, that's probably the hardest circle for different reasons because like Patrice like did work very closely with Patrice, but like I also do like to compete at the end with people, so like Mac and Amy would also be huge contenders for that because they both are huge, like not just comp threats, but like strategic threats as well. And like I do like to play against that as well because I just like to play hard with people. So I feel like that would be good. And then Jacob would be an easier choice from his circle too because he's very much the same, at least of those people that I witnessed. But I think those would be the only answers that I would have that are different. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think of inactive players when I thought of that question. So.
Yeah, like that question is easy because there are quite a few there in each circle, actually.
I do want to use the last of my time to ask Eleanor something really quickly. And I did want to ask how much of our relationship in the game was genuine because honestly, I was gonna ride or die for you, but I do have one important question. Where's my safety? No, but how much of that was genuine? There's a minute left.
Do you want me to? Yeah. So the round that you and Fabi went home, I did everything in my power to protect you guys. I had a full-fleshed plan to keep everyone safe. Mac had told me he was down to save you or Amy. And if that had happened, I was fully intending on letting Benji potentially go to the block at that point in order to save you or Fabi and keep you guys off of the block. So that was fully sincere. We started our relationship a little bit late, but you put in time with me and got to know me in a way that I didn't get to have with a lot of the cast. And so definitely have a special place in my heart.
Impressive. I'm almost out of time. All right. Congratulations again. Good luck. May the best player become the second female to ever win the collective here.
Your time is up.
I cannot wait to
Thank
vote.
you. Your time is up. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks,
Smooches.
Mike.
All right. Thank you, Mike V. And our next juror up will be Mr. Jacob Adorno. Maybe.
It's around.
Jacob.
Jacob.
We meant the other Jacob Adorno if the other one didn't think we were talking about him.
Right. Right.
Do we have to worry about more people falling asleep? Are we kidding?
Jacob.
Okay, well,
Jacob.
we'll just move on to Ezra for now, and maybe we'll circle back to Jacob in a minute or two after Ezra.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I don't know by what metrics people usually vote for winners in this. Both I had fun with both of you. I'm gonna ask a question because I was told I should prepare a question. So after a lot of Zoom calls, we played a variety of games together. So I just wanted to ask each of you what was your favorite?
I'll say, okay, so it took me a long time to get y'all to play this game, Secret Hitler, but that's like my favorite game in general. So like that one was super fun. And it like taught me a lot, honestly, about how everybody lies to each other and how everybody works to each other when they have to lie to each other. I love playing that game with people because like even though it is a game not about game, it teaches you a lot about how people play with each other. So I just like really enjoyed that game.
This is hard because I really loved all of the games for different reasons. I think that Crash Words was really fun for me. I got to learn a lot about the way that people think because like we're given clues while trying to avoid giving the same clue. So it's like, oh, somebody would put something that I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have even like thought of that connection. Also loved playing that game where we were trying to crash with each other. That was also really fun. And it was really nice for me to get to know you specifically better, Ezra, because I feel like we didn't really have a very strong game relationship. And so getting to like have that lighthearted fun and like realize, oh wait, Ezra and I are like on the same wavelength every time we play a game. We're like thinking the same thing. But they were all fun. But Crash Words probably.
Well, shoot. How much more time do I have to kill? Here, let me ask this. I'll do the genie question. What question would you ask yourselves and then answer that. What would be
Um,
the best question I could ask you right now?
I like to ask people like when did you know that you're gonna win? Like not when did you know like as a player, like of course you always think you're gonna win, but when did you like know in the game that you were going to get to the final two? I like to ask that question a lot.
Okay, Leo, when did you know in the game that you were going to get to the final two?
Like I mean, I fully knew when Jacob left that like the path became like very clear for me that we were gonna get to the final two because then directly after that, we ended up sending Benji home. And then I don't know, me and Eleanor just like kind of locked in together after that. And like every move after that, whether we either came to each other and was like, this is what we have to do, or like we are going to do this. Very much so. Like with the Marvin vote, like kind of like went straight to Eleanor and was like, hey Diva, like we have to straight up tell them that I'm voting for Marvin. Otherwise, everybody is just going to not do that. Like everybody's going to try to tie it. So we have to do it, and then we have to tie it because then nobody else is going to expect that. So like once Jacob got, I knew me and Eleanor could lock in and get to the end together.
All right, Eleanor, what should I ask you?
Oh, I can answer the same question if you want. Because my answer is a little bit sadder, but I have never really felt like I was gonna win this game. Even now, I feel like I would be very happy. Like I've made it to a final once before and was happily lost to someone that I had been working with the entire time. So to be able to like be in a final two with Aaliyah is great. I did feel like I was on the bottom of my circle for a majority of the game, that they were going to use me as long as they had to and then cut me close to the end. So I was trying not to get my hopes up too much and like had to like literally scrap and claw and win my way here. So maybe like now I feel like a little bit like I could win. That's my answer.
Okay, now both of you for the last 26 seconds say the alphabet backwards.
Like the whole thing.
Anything for a vote, baby.
Like literally. If you reverse that, would it actually
Thank
sound like something?
you, Ezra. Your time is up. Thanks again.
Thank you, Ezra. We will now move on to Benji.
Hi, sisters. I will say that just because I worked with both of you and you were in my inner circle does not mean that you are a lock for my vote. It's up in the air, so fight for it. Okay. I guess going into we started talking about relationships and my name started coming up into that. So let's delve into that a little bit. Where did I actually sit within the relationship that we had in the game, and how did you utilize me, if at all, um, and the remaining relationships with the cast, if you haven't spoken about them already, to move forward in the game? Aaliyah, I would like to start with you, please.
Okay, so kind of the opposite of what Eleanor said. She said that like when she walked into the game, she like felt nervous of like in-game connections, outside of game connections. And for me, like going into games, I'm usually terrified of that because like when I first came into the community, I didn't know anybody, but like just because of who I know in the community, I've started to like know everybody. So when I walk into a game, I'm normally super fearful because I'll see multiple people that I know, and that becomes like makes me a huge target in the game. So when I walked into this game and I saw a bunch of people that I knew and a bunch of people that I didn't, it was like an evening experience for me. So like the stress that I normally have about that kind of went out the window. So I could like just play as me. I didn't have to play as like an extension of somebody else or anything like that. So the connections I had in the game were mine and not like because of someone else, if that makes sense. So the new people in the game I got to forge new relationships on under the under the notion that I already knew these people. So I didn't feel like I was coming in any danger because like everybody already knew who I was close to. And like if they were fearful of that, they weren't vocal about that to me. But when they were, it wasn't under the impression that I was in danger because of that. It's everybody else around me who was close to me was in danger because of that. And honestly, that worked for me well. So the people that I was close to, like you specifically, I just like kept our relationship going during the game. Like it wasn't like I was going to take advantage of our relationship outside of the game to keep going. It's I was gonna definitely like bolster our in-game relationship so that can get us further. And then people that I didn't know, like people like Ezra, Patrice, Eleanor, I talked to them like all the time to ensure that like our game in the relationship was just as strong as those people that I knew before.
Would you like me to go now? Okay.
Yes, please.
So like I mentioned, it is an advantage and a disadvantage coming into a game knowing people. I think that for me in this game, it helped, it didn't help, but the main thing that I want to get across is that if I was not actively talking to you, specifically anyone on the jury, it was because I was trying to sustain the trust and loyalty that I had built with people that I felt solid with. I watch a lot of TV. I know that like you can't be making side alliances to selfishly protect yourself over like other people. So I did not want the people that I was aligned with to hear Eleanor said this. Eleanor's working with so and so. I'm in an alliance with Eleanor too. That made it hard when it came to like getting to know everyone on a personal level because I didn't have pre-existing relationships with pretty much anyone here. So I didn't get to pick up where I left off, or like I didn't get to skip the small talk with people. I had to invest a lot more time and energy into that. And therefore, I wasn't able to get around to everyone as easily as somebody who maybe like has a rapport already. Specifically with you, Benji, I believe that on like day one, I came to you and said final two. And I felt like I never really got that reassurance from either you or Aaliyah specifically. And because I sussed that, I chose very intentionally not to lead either of you on. I didn't make promises to either of you that I couldn't keep. I feel like I didn't do that with anyone in this cast. I did what I said I was going to do, except for the one round that I blindsided Amy. And I worked to the best of my ability with the social capacity that I currently have in my life. And I feel like I had great experiences with everybody that I did. And yeah.
All right, before 15 seconds. Okay, best of luck to you both. May the best woman win. I'm proud of you both, no matter what happens. And we'll see where my vote falls. Bye, ladies.
Thanks, Benji.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you so much, Benji. All right, we're gonna try this again and circle back around to Mr. Jacob Adorno. Period. Okay, let's get her.
I'm not dead. Yay. Hi, everyone. All right. If you two could get a writing utensil, perhaps, maybe something to write on, really super duper quick. So what we're going to do is my favorite challenge to host. It's called touchy subjects. And so I'm going to tell you a superlative, and your answer has to be a juror. But there's a catch to this. Obviously, I only have 5 minutes, so I can't go through all the questions I had prepared. Catch is, you guys both can't use the same answer. Reminiscent of the game Crash Word that we had played. If you both answer the same person, I will not ask for elaboration from either of you. But if you guys both provide different answers, I will ask one of you for explaining it. So if you are trying to come up with a bullshit answer, you'll have to come up with a bullshit reason. I hope you guys are genuine about this. Both of y'all ladies ready? Type shit. All right, first one. Who do you think is going to be villain of the season? Again, it has to be someone on the jury. And give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Like, there's pretty much everyone that is here, or Fabi.
Are we allowed to put ourselves?
No.
Fully ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, reveal. So, no, that crashes out good. We don't need to elaborate on that. Neat, awesome, amazing, excellent. All right, next question. Um, if you had to choose, I know Mike asked this question kind of earlier, but if you had to choose one person of any one of the jurors to sit there instead of you, who would it be? Got a thumb up from Eleanor. Does Aaliyah have a thumb though? D does have a thumb. 3, 2, 1 reveal. Oh, so different ones. Okay, so Ellie, I know Benji just went. So Eleanor, can you elaborate on
Yeah, this was
Patrice?
a really easy decision for me. I'm sorry if that offends anyone, but um, Patrice was the person I literally worked with closest in this game, and the one of two times I believe that I was ever vulnerable, Patrice saved me, and we promised each other we were going to get each other to jury and as far as we could in this game. And if I could lose to him in a final two, I would have been stoked to do it.
Aaliyah, can you elaborate on your answer?
I definitely share the same sentiments about Patrice. Like Patrice definitely would be a fantastic player, and I kind of figured Eleanor would pick them because I was like very close to doing so. But I chose Benji very much because during that round, I actually like had like a whole existential crisis moment. I came to Patrice and I was like, "Hey Diva, like." I'm very struggling with this decision because I think he probably was the only person who was like privy to me possibly not choosing Benji during that time. Because I told everybody I was between Patrice and Benji. Like I told everybody that during that round, but I was struggling because I did not want Benji or Jacob to go in that round, and Benji specifically because I knew that he wanted this very bad and wanted to be in the end very bad, and that was like weighing on me emotionally during that time. So if anybody could replace me, probably I would choose Benji for sure.
And probably the last one, given how much time I have left. Who do you think didn't live up to their full potential? You think they could have given a little more? Could have done better. Be thankful that's this question and not the other question I was contemplating. Could have been a lot better. Got a thumb up from Eleanor.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I got a thumb up for both of you. 3, 2, 1 reveal.
I mean this in a nice way, I hope.
Also same.
Okay, Eleanor, you elaborate first.
Okay, Marvin, I saw as a question mark through most of the game, but as somebody who could pull out wins and could be an incredible strategic mind, I think that had we been in the same circle, things could have turned out differently and we could have worked together, but we didn't have that opportunity. I think that had Marvin and Grace been in a stronger circle for a longer period of time, they could have run this game. They were good with everyone that I talked to, which is part of why I was never able to make that relationship with them because I knew they were working with people I wasn't.
Elia, elaborate on your answer.
Okay, so the two people I was like going back and forth was between you and Mac. Mostly because like Mac like made it to the final four, but like I didn't really see a lot of like the social games specifically coming from Mac, and that's probably because we were on opposite sides of things going on there. I was like working with people around Mac, but not with Mac specifically. But I did choose you because like you suffer from something that I normally suffer from in games, which is like managing threat level. And in this game, like you like became a huge threat randomly and then got sniped immediately, which is something that happens to me like especially around that placement. So like I definitely think that like I don't know. I wish that that could have changed just because like I haven't been able to see you in game IRL and like that's something that normally stops me up. So it was interesting to see it stop you up as well. Because I seem to flourish in being a threat this game. So I yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
You and me both. Yes, I also wanted that for myself. Unfortunately, couldn't get that. By the way, congrats to both
Jacob,
of you. Big one.
yeah, I'm gonna cut you off.
Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you, Jacob.
That was fun.
Thank you, Jacob. All right, next up we have Marvin.
All right. Well, congrats to the two of you. I know I feel like y'all are most worried about me as a juror. I'm not a bitter juror. I can promise you that. I listen to whatever you guys have to say and whatnot. But I will have to bring up what you just said, Eleanor, and I completely agree with what you said because I do see my game the exact same way. So you clocked it right on the, you know what I mean. But I guess one question, I feel like you guys know what's coming, the whole lying stuff. When, how many times did y'all lie throughout the game, and why did you do it, and how did it benefit your game specifically? And we can start with Aaliyah.
So I think that it's like no secret. I didn't really lie too much when I went to people. I specifically did not lie, and here's why. I told enough of the truth so that the person that was getting not necessarily lied to, just getting told what I was telling them, for some reason every single time their anger was redirected to somebody close to me every single time. Benji, when Benji went on the block, that was not just an Eleanor decision, but for some reason Benji 100% blamed Eleanor in the moment, every single time, because I knew it literally from the beginning. Eleanor was saving Amy. She literally told me beforehand she was saving Amy. And I knew that she was either going to choose Amy or she was going to choose me. And if she chose me, then she was not choosing Amy and Amy was going home the next round. So that was 100% a win for me. Um, that literally continued when you got lied to about the Amy vote. I straight up told you I was voting you, and you're the one who speculated that it was going to be a tie, and then you turned around. You even said it. You're probably hoping for a tie if you vote for you. That was the last message from you. You said you're probably going to end up getting a tie, and I didn't even respond to you actually. We just went straight into the vote, and then it tied.
I'd like to
Um,
correct that
yeah,
because the one thing you told me is you were voting me to
yeah,
prevent a tie.
yeah. I
So
told you
right there,
to.
right there.
I did tell you I was going to prevent a tie, which was definitely a lie that was like
Mhm.
my straight up thing, but less a lie and more. I knew 100% it was going to tie because Eleanor was sitting right there. But I specifically did not tell you the full truth because I knew that I could get out of getting the blame for that, and I absolutely did. Yeah.
Eleanor.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I don't want to get, I would like to clarify that depending on the real truth, I feel like I was lied to. Aaliyah told me she never intended on going to final two with Benji, but I feel like that's not the truth. And then also, that was the only instance that I had to lie in the game was to you, Grace, and Mac that round. Because Aaliyah and I both decided to do what we did that round. I had actually intentionally been putting off taking a shot at Amy for that specific moment. And knowing that the previous round, I don't think Aaliyah knew that I was going to save Amy. I think she was trying to force my hand into saving Benji so that Amy would go home. I did not take the bait and I stuck to my guns, and Benji went home ensuring that I would be on jury. And then moving forward, I felt like I was in the position then where I could take that shot. Benji giving Aaliyah immunity and 2 votes was also part of my plan so that then Aaliyah and I could use those 2 votes to take that shot. Also, I specifically saved Grace during that round because I knew that if you and Grace were on the block together, we didn't have that power. The votes could tie, you and Grace would come off, and then you guys would be controlling that vote with Mac. So that's why I didn't save Patrice, even though I did not want him to go home. I chose to keep him on the block so that Aaliyah and I alone could control that round and that vote. But that was the only time in the game that I had to lie, and it was to prevent you and Grace from getting a majority of the votes instead of it tying, and you guys not even having an opportunity to compete, because that was something that I told you guys I wanted. I wanted to go to Final Six with 2 teams of 2, and I wanted to stick to that, and so I did. But other than that, I don't think I lied, which is
Okay.
shocking.
I whose idea was it to, I guess we'll discuss this later. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, like my vote's still open and good luck and yeah.
Thanks, Marvin.
Thank you, Marvin.
Thank you, Marvin. All right, we are moving on to Grace.
What's up, y'all? Yeah, I'm in my Christmas spirit because took some cute ass photos earlier. Anyways, real quick, first of all, I just want to say congratulations to both of you. Y'all look really stunning. Y'all look beautiful tonight, and you should be so proud of yourselves. I'm proud of both of you, and it just means a lot to me right now because I'm the only woman on this jury right at this current moment, and the fact that two women are sitting in the final two is boss ass move. And I'm so excited for a woman to win this game. I'm so excited to see it happen. So first, I'm gonna go in alphabetical order. I do have a question for each of y'all. I'm gonna go with Aaliyah. So Aaliyah, I'm listening to your speech and your answers, and I've also been talking with the jurors about it. Something I noticed was that there were a couple things I noticed. The first thing was there were certain times throughout the game I felt any decisions you made, I found out from other people and not from you. And another thing too I noticed was anytime I was in the collective, you never approached the hey, would you be open to saving me? And anytime you were in and I wasn't there, it seemed like you had other people picked out there. And I do feel I had like a personal relationship with you, but on a game level, I felt it wasn't there as much. And that makes me, and hearing your answers and everything, that makes me feel there were other people above me. So I wanted to know if you only talked like game with a certain amount of people that you felt were only going, like the only people who were going to benefit you moving forward, and if you prioritize people.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's a good question. So, I think I was like very strategic in my conversations because of the way that people talked. Because a lot of the conversation I did have with people, they would tell me about my game that they were hearing from other people that so I found that very interesting. So I was very cautious about what I talked to people about. And from the very beginning, I did mention about like personal relationships. There were certainly people that the personal relationships like allowed our game relationships to blossom, but then there were specific people that I had outside of game relationship with that I had like little to no game talk with, except in those passing moments like we had like a very in the beginning we had, oh, you're safe, you're going to be safe. We had very little conversation, and then as the game progressed, our conversation didn't really need to go game talk because we weren't working together, and I think we both knew that, especially in the second half of the game. Like every single time we had a conversation, you also didn't talk game to me, so that made me know that we were not working.
I'm pausing the time. Don't worry.
Okay, good. Because I wanted
Yeah.
to hear what else she had answered.
No worries. We're just gonna keep it paused until Lilia is able to come back.
Just take a cutesy little break.
Yes, go get a snack.
I have to pee, so this is perfect.
Yeah, our
Yes,
finalist
don't forget to
diva.
hydrate. Hydrate.
No, I was
Yeah,
gonna
grab a
say I was gonna say
drink,
get an
grab a pee.
alcoholic drink if
Oh,
you're
I was gonna
nasty.
say, okay, well, Julia, sure.
Have a glass of wine with me if you're nasty.
I have water. And I had a peppermint milkshake from Chick-fil-A earlier, but I finished it.
I hope everyone's having a lovely day.
My day is My day was lovely. I'm tired.
I went to a drag show before this, so I had a great time.
Period. We love that. Fred, I feel that. I'm like, that's how I feel right now. My childhood, like, I'm sad. Shout out to John Cena.
Do, do, do.
Anyone want Dr. Pepper?
That reminds me that I have a Dr. Pepper in the fridge. I'm gonna go get it.
Thanks for your patience, guys. We're trying to get everything situated again.
We're trying our best.
Oh, she is here.
Oh, good. Welcome back.
Sorry about that. My phone fully died.
Yeah, we paused the time that Grace had remaining so that we can like continue with where we were at. So when you
Yes.
Julia will restart the time once you're into your
Yes.
thing
I'm
again.
just going to let you know you have 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in your time. I'll still give you a 2, a 1, and a 30 seconds. Just wanted to let you know whenever you guys start talking again, I'll restart your time.
Do you want to just like start where I left off?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah. So like I knew like halfway through towards the end when we were talking like that we weren't going to be working together, and then the same was happening with other people that like I had that kind of rapport with. That was very much the same with Mac as well. At the beginning we talked a lot, but like as we got to the end, like and I saw that we were working together, that the conversations very much dried up and very much came to the right before the vote talk or barely right before the vote talk. So like definitely as I stopped working with people, those conversations did slowly die away.
Okay, thank you. And Eleanor, something I want to ask you is I want to know what you did to contribute to the game socially, but I have a challenge for you. You cannot mention you making the collective and you saving people. I want to know outside of collective trial. I want to know everything outside of that.
Absolutely. So, very early on in this game, I chose people that I was going to essentially ride or die for. And those people were Amy, Patrice, Fabi, and initially I did want to work with Alex, but part of my gameplay was me learning how to like trust my intuition and trust my gut. I trusted that Alex wasn't working with me early on. So I was like, okay, I can't use him as a shield. I need Amy. And I locked in with Amy and Patrice really early in the game. I think that socially, I had people willing to protect me, even though I was a challenge threat. And so, on that, I had to balance my time with people. And so I wasn't able to necessarily have long, like one on one VCs with people like you, Grace. And a big part of why I made that decision was because I could see based on the other people's saves and what I was hearing through the grapevine that you were someone who was close with a lot of people that I wasn't working with. And that if we were to have those conversations, it was going to be putting me in a position where I had to potentially lie and burn like a relationship with you moving on. So while I would have loved to have like one-on-one time with everyone on this cast, it just wasn't something feasible for me in my personal life to be able to talk to everyone for multiple hours a day.
I'm going to have to cut you off. That is the end of your time. Thank you, Grace, so much.
Thank you. Thanks for the pee break, Aaliyah.
Thank you, Grace. We will now move on to Mac.
Hello, hello. First of all, congrats to you too. My question, which I came up with very quickly, is when you both are having your opening speeches, you obviously have to condense your game and kind of summarize it very quickly. So, one question I have for each of you is there a detail about your game, whether it's like an alliance or a certain connection, or just like one round, you're like, oh, wait, yeah, I did do this little thing? Is there any interesting thing that you could potentially tell the jury that we have not heard yet? And I'll start with Eleanor.
Okay, so I would say that I would say that a lot of what people don't know that I was doing was solidifying the relationships that I did have with people and then trying to diminish them. The round that I like after Fabi and Mike V went home, I played up like very much so being pissed off at Amy and Patrice when I was still fully working with them and like aligned with them. I would say, let's see. Um, um, I don't know if there's a lot that people don't know about. I mean, I was gonna get immunity from Fabi or Mike, no matter who went home. I feel like maybe it was obvious when I was throwing competition, so I don't know if that's like necessarily not known. But the oh, I don't know. This is a hard question. What do people not know? Here's something. Okay, so I originally was working extremely closely with Jacob from my perspective of things. And then, due to my relationship that I had with Amy, she presented me a whole ton of information about specific alliances Jacob was in that I was not a part of, deals he was making to people that I was not included in or privy to. I sort of underestimated the connection between Aaliyah and Jacob on a game level. Maybe that was naive of me, but I expected them to be a lot more separate. And as we've heard tonight and sort of discovered throughout the season, that was not the case. But I was working really closely with Jacob, and I kept that kind of hidden from a lot of people because I know that people saw me and Aaliyah and Jacob as like a trio and a threat. And so I wanted to downplay that as much as I could and yeah, protect Aaliyah by putting the blame on Jacob in order to protect our circle.
Okay. And Aaliyah, you're muted.
I did realize that immediately when it said your mic is muted. Um, I'm like very much in the same boat as Eleanor. I played like a very public game a lot of times, just because like I felt like I had to a lot because of my relationship with Jacob. I feel like that wasn't never going to be a secret. I think it's actually kind of weird when people were surprised that me and Jacob were working together. I feel like that is like something that's expected. So I just kind of leaned into that and surprised like I was very surprised that it took as long as it did for me to get targeted for that. In fact, I was in the bottom twice in a row and got a majority vote to save me, which is like crazy, especially because I went on in that second live night to then run the end of the live night. Like that is crazy. And I specifically did throw that comp so that I would be in last place for Eleanor. So me and Eleanor can make the decision either way what would happen. Even though it turned into a gaggy moment for everyone, including us, like it that was my intention there. I don't think I really have anything else super crazy because I very much did play my game out in the open most of the time.
Okay, and with the last 30 seconds, I just want to let you know that the closing speeches are going to be very important. I think there are quite a few jurors who are still leaning either, I mean, still kind of in the middle, myself included. So just like give yourselves a bit of a deep breath and whatnot. And yeah, love you both.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Matt. And Patrice is ready to go. I was gonna say last but not least, but he beat me to it. So Patrice, take it away.
Hello, girls. So you can take a breath here because I have a speech. I had to throw my other speech when I thought that I was going to be in the finale with Mac, but I made a new one and I wanted to write it. So I wanted to be sure to say what I had in mind and to be clear and concise. In this game, we go way back when it became clear to me that my own circle wouldn't have my back at round 3 and 4. I had to find strong allies to advance myself further, and you two came along. Eleanor, the spitting image of my niece, and Aliyah, I'm not sure if I told you that, but the spitting image of a girlfriend that I had during university. You were both strong, luminous, fierce, unapologetic, and inspiring, each in your own way. Like in every family, friendship, and relationship, we laughed, we argued, we made up, we even cried. We saw each other defeated, we lifted each other up, we saved each other, we lied to each other, we had each other's back most of the time. But our dysfunctional bond was nothing but true and based on a friendship that will outlast this game. In life, when men lie and betray, they have character and are strong will. But when women do it, when they are fierce and maneuver to get ahead, sometimes it's been seen in a negative way, not in here tonight. Yes, some of us might be hurt a bit and feel a certain way, but they will get over it. You girls did awesome. You did some of us good. You did some of us dirty, but you are at the top like you deserve, and I want you to own it. At top 8, I told myself that if myself or Amy couldn't win this game, I wanted you two to be in the finale, and you are. So be proud of yourself, both of you. All of us are proud of you. Now, my questions. Uh, my vote is undecided, like Max said tonight, as you both played a different but good game. I am looking for self-awareness and authenticity in your answers. No one played a perfect game, so I want you to name 2 mistakes or something that you could have done differently in the game, a lie you should not have made, a decision you will change, or someone you could have worked with more or less to be able to say that your game was even better. Again, I'm looking for self awareness, smart, authentic answers. Go ahead.
I can go first.
Okay.
I do want to clarify, like when it came to the decision to save you over Benji, that in turn led Eleanor to saving Amy, whether that be a preconceived decision or not. I have been very torn about who I was taking to final two. So when I was making the statement that it was always going to be Eleanor, that may have been an aggressive statement. It was not always Eleanor. It was always I'm going to take who I'm going to take. And you had asked me that question early on in the game, and you probably were one of the first people to ask me that in the game. And I think I told you in the moment, I'm not sure. And then I did say Eleanor. I did say straight up, most likely Eleanor, because she can take me to the end with her comps, and did. That was like a very big decision that I was thinking. So when it got to that decision there during that live night, it took me a minute to decide in that moment because it was like between my personal relationship with Benji and like my spot in the end. And I needed to force Eleanor to choose me, even if it meant she was choosing Amy at the moment, because I knew that she couldn't choose Amy again after that, because if she was, she couldn't be choosing herself and she wouldn't do that. So that's what I meant when I'm explaining that decision, because that's what I was doing. Not so much that she was choosing Benji or me in the moment, but she was choosing Amy or me and then end up having to choose me. So yeah, I guess that was probably less a mistake, but more like a clarifying moment for me.
Julia, I'm gonna need 1 more minute because I'm third place, so I deserve like at least 1 minute so people can answer me. Thank you.
I'll just go ahead and start to save time. Some of the biggest mistakes that I made, I would say this is one people might not know about because luckily it didn't cause a disaster. But when Alex and Rachel were on the block, I voted to banish Rachel, which looking back was like a really dumb move and could have prevented the Alex vote out had one other person maybe voted that way. So that was like something where when I did that, I was like, oh, wow, like that was dumb. I need to like look at my game from a different perspective and really rely on the people that I was close to get that information that I wasn't getting from having those one-to-one game relationships with people. I think that the only other thing that I can say that maybe was a mistake was not.
I'm going to have to cut you off. I'm
That's okay.
so sorry.
It's totally
Come
fine.
on.
I'm I'm sorry,
You look really nice,
Jer-
Patrice.
Jeremy
Thank
runs a
you.
tight ship here. Thank you so
I
much,
do. I
Patrice.
do. Thank you, Patrice.
Yeah, but Fabi wasn't there, so I was taking his time in
That's
my mind.
that's okay. Thank you, Patrice.
Sorry,
We
girl.
will
I should
move
have cut
into
my
the
speech.
we will
Good
move
luck to
into
both
the
of you.
closing speeches now. Starting off with Eleanor. You'll have 5 minutes when you start talking.
Okay, hello. Thank you again for all of the questions, jury. I really appreciate you all coming into tonight open-minded, like I have tried to be throughout this entire game, whether it came to who I was working with, what decisions I was making. I just approached this game with an open mind, wanting to have fun with each and every one of you and laugh, make new friends, and do whatever I could to make it to the end. I feel like that being said, I did lean into that, like I said before, to try to downplay my threat level. Early on in this game, losing a circle member first and realizing that Aaliyah and Benji were statistically underperforming in challenges at the beginning of the game. Like Aaliyah said, she didn't win any of the first 3 competitions. And I did have a feeling that maybe there were people throwing challenges. So with that in mind, I knew that I had to keep winning in order to protect myself because I didn't have these pre-existing connections. If I was vulnerable, I didn't feel like a lot of people were going to save me. So I really had to fight against that and dig my claws in, find the people that I felt like would ride for me, and then trust my instincts. And I was correct about everyone that I trusted in this game. They did follow through and protect me as long as they could. I think the strongest game decision I made the entire season was at the very beginning of the game, telling my prod chat, the moment I saw Patrice on the cast, I was like, that's going to be the person I go to and build that relationship with, because we think very similarly in the sense that after the round when Aaliyah and I voted out Amy, Patrice technically had the opportunity to do the same thing to us with Grace and Marvin on the block. He and Matt could have tied that vote, and then Aaliyah or no, and then me and Mac would have gone on the block. They could have all voted me out, dragging Aaliyah, who had won first place in that competition. That would have been an epic move. I wasn't really even worried about it. Patrice came to me right away and told me that Marvin was pitching that idea and that he was reassuring me and Aaliyah both that like we were good. And I knew that about him. I knew that he would go as far as he could with the people that he cared about. And I wanted to be one of those people. And then I will say that I was genuinely surprised that in those moments that I was not in the collective, which I believe was only twice, other than having immunity, I was very surprised that my social strategy was able to protect me and that there weren't shots being taken at me. I think that was a really big oversight, no offense, by a majority of the cast to let me get as far as I did. I was downplaying even in my competitions. You can see that at the end when I got first place 3 times in a row. I knew that was because I wanted to show out, show off more than I had, and that I was in that position of the game where it was time to win and it was time to rack up that resume. And I never misled anyone except for the one round where I do genuinely feel like I did it to benefit everyone left in the game, other than Amy. I'm so sorry, and Mac, because I knew, and that is because I don't think I mentioned this, but that is because Patrice had come to me and let me know about Amy's side alliances and side deals, which was giving me the ammunition that I needed to take that shot. The only people I promised like really anything in this game were Amy and Patrice. And when it came down to Mac winning, I needed to make a decision between the two of them. And I chose Patrice. He had let me know that Amy had side deals with Marvin and Grace, which I did not want to take Patrice out and give Amy and Mac the opportunity to move forward into that final 6 with Marvin and Grace and me and Aaliyah, because I knew that Amy wasn't prioritizing me and planning on taking a comp beast to the final 4 like I would have with her. So that gave me the ammunition that I needed to make that decision that to cut her when I did. I had been waiting for the right time, and Aaliyah helping me get rid of Benji the round before made it so much easier to get my ride or dies to ride or die for me when it came to the end game, because they didn't have other options anymore. I made sure that all their other options were eliminated, and that I would have the best shot at winning my way to the end. And I do want to give Aaliyah her flowers. When I wasn't able to win, she beasted those endurance competitions, and I feel like we really relied on each other a lot to get to where we are. And I want to just say thank you again to this entire cast for making this an incredibly fun experience. I don't have beef with any of you. I feel very, very lucky to have gotten to play with all of you, and I will be excited to see either of us represent this incredible season. I concede my time.
The whole 3
All-
seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say all 2 seconds of it. Thank you so much, Eleanor. And we will close it off with Miss Aaliyah.
Thank you. Okay, I just wanted to thank the jury for all of your questions. While there were plenty of them and plenty of answers we could have given, I hope we gave you what you needed to give us you an informed decision in your vote tonight. Throughout this game, I tried to use everything in my arsenal throughout my experience in games in life to get me where I am today here in the final two. I didn't just rely on comps because I couldn't. Every comp was very different and not in my wheelhouse, and that was very obvious for some comps, but for other comps, they were. So I definitely used those to my advantage when I couldn't, I used my social strategy in the game. Every decision I made was carefully thought out. I spent plenty of time on each decision to ensure that it got me to the next position in the game, even if it did hurt me in the moment, whether that be personally or on a social level with certain players. I knew that those decisions would get me farther into the next round. Each time something came my way that I didn't necessarily like, whether that be a vote that didn't go my way, because that definitely did happen a few times. I definitely used that to propel myself going forward, whether that be to solidify bonds that I started to make in the past or to make a social strategic decision that would propel me further. Once I started to see my path in the end, that was largely due to Patrice, and those decisions were not just a one-on-one between me and Patrice or a one-on-one between Patrice and Eleanor. That was a conglomerate decision, and that was something that definitely bolstered our position in the game, and it definitely made it very clear that we would be the two in the end when that began to happen, because me and Eleanor sat for literally hours talking about every single facet of how we would get forward in every single possible scenario that could happen. And there were multiple times when as a group, we could not see which way was correct, but I would steer that in the right direction. I would say, no, this is exactly what we need to do to get to the next round. And that's exactly what happened. At the end, if we had gone with the way that Eleanor would want it to go, we would not be sitting in the final two. Marvin would have ended up getting a tied no tie on his vote, and we would have been the ones sitting on the jury instead of you. So with that being said, my social strategic decisions, the social decisions that I made, and the specific comps that I made or that I won are the reason that me and Eleanor are sitting here in the end. She won all of the comps that she did. She is literally the most physical person I've ever seen in an org, and that is crazy. Like, I've not seen anybody win the way that she has, and that is why I knew that I needed to sit next to her and work with her in my final two situation, because there was no way that I could have made it to the end without her help either. So I definitely want to give her flowers in that regard too. So with that, I hope that we have given you everything you needed to make the correct decision tonight. I hope that I could be your winner here for season 6. Yeah. No, I can see the rest of my time.
Alrighty. Thank you both so much. Thank you, jurors and everybody, for being here. The power now shifts. It is time for the jurors to vote. We're going to give you 10 minutes. So at 35 past, you must have your vote submitted into your prod chat. and we will come back to read the votes. And during this time, we're also gonna let the pre-jurors in. Once you have voted, you can turn your camera on and unmute and chat. Please do not discuss who you voted or hint towards who you voted. Just save any game talk for the reunion. We'll have plenty of time to chat. But you can chat about your lives and stuff once you've voted. Thank you all so much. We'll be back in 9 minutes now.
Thank you, Jeremy.
You did so good, baby.
Thank you, you too. I'm so proud of us. Sorry. I can't wait. How much do we want to bet on whether Ray's going to be here or not?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I've never spoken to that person.
Our fallen comrade.
Literally forgets that Ray was ever in our circle. Like, technically, I guess.
I don't even think that person exists, to be
They
real.
did. They did.
Jacob sprinting back on camera in 3, 2. Just kidding. There he is. Oh.
It was close. Wait. I didn't know if we could do this.
Are we allowed to? I think I heard, but I'm bad at hearing things.
Mike,
yeah. Once you've voted, you can come on camera and chat. Just don't talk about the vote.
Oh,
game in general. We are just a few minutes out from being able to talk about it as much as we like.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Is that Legend ZA music at the bumper?
Jeremy, I can let the pre-juries in now, right? Or whoever this person
Yes.
is. Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Whoever this person is.
They didn't use the
Who
first
is it?
name.
Who is it?
I think Dead Man Walking. I don't know who that is.
Oh,
but
Mike Jones, probably.
Okay, that's what I figured, but I don't.
Like, who else could it be?
I didn't want to assume, you know.
That's what he changed it to during live night. He changed it
Also probably.
live night to Dead Man Walking.
Wait, remember when we were all Mike?
Hi, Mike.
We all changed our name to Mike during the
Yeah.
I got stuck with Michael.
Back.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, Mike!
Oh no, my light.
I'll have to rename myself.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. They were like, "Who's Dead Man Walking?" I was like, "Who else could it be?"
Well, that's
It's me, dirt bags. I'm just kidding.
Welcome home, sister.
I'm just kidding. I'm back.
Wait, the vote hasn't been really close.
You may have been able to beat me down, but you didn't beat me off. So
on both. Oh, wait a minute.
Can I beat you up? Can I beat you up?
We very much did not.
Mike
What, Keaton? What, Keaton?
I really thought we were done with your shit in this game. Clearly not.
Nope.
Mike Jones, I have not prayed for a long time. Why do you make me feel like I need to?
Oh shit! I should have put him
Look,
for.
I've had a day, Benji, and I might have had a couple, but it's fine. So
the way you said,
and yet that don't answer my question.
Because I have daddy issues, mommy issues. I really wasn't hugged a lot as a kid. I got voted out pre-jury, which was kind of whack.
Got it.
But it's fine. Congratulations, Eleanor and Aaliyah, by the way.
Thanks, Mike. Sorry, you were the only person I was targeting during this game.
Well, I even put in my prod chat, why does Eleanor hate me so much? And then I was like, I know why Eleanor hates me so much, but it's fine.
It's because you clocked me right away, and I was like, he knows I'm thinking more than I am. I need him gone.
Yeah, but we could have been besties, but no.
I didn't trust you, Bubba. Maybe next time.
What did I do?
Nothing, literally.
I'm
that's what I said that. I was like, the person I ever came for. Beginning of the game, I was like, I don't trust Mike Jones.
Or was Mike the only one in that circle before you weren't aligned with?
Oh
God.
No, I heard it. I heard it. Y'all said, well, there was the Mac, Amy, Patrice circle. Yeah, fuck me, I guess. I'm just
Mike Jones. Mike Jones is a diva who literally checked up on me every single day, like literally every single day. Like that week we
And
had a
would.
break. Like the only person who checked up like every day because I was stressed that week. Like, ooh, I was very stressed doing my interviews for work, and Mike checked on
Oh
me every
yeah.
single day. Like, sweetie.
Look,
That's
as
so
soon as
sweet.
people realize I'm the best kind of ally, because I'll just do whatever people tell me to do. Like,
Literally, just sweetie.
I'm the perfect ally.
I
All right,
literally,
I'll
Mike
keep that
Jones
in
would check
mind
on me
next time I
every
see you
single
in the game.
day.
My favorite
No,
moment with
literally,
Mike through.
if we're talking about emotional support, Mike Jones literally would check on me every morning, and I could literally be like, "How are you doing?" And then he'd be like, "Yeah, I feel that." Like, so
I'm an emotional support dog.
My
And then I would
emotional
just
support for with Mike that he gave me was telling me every day that Seb needed to pour his own damn cereal.
well, you would be like, I gotta cook Zeb breakfast. I'd be like, tell him to pour his own damn cereal. And then I would message Mike V. He'd leave me on red for 4 days. I really wanted to play with Mike V. No, I really wanted to play with Mike V. And Mike V just like could have given two shits about me.
Yeah, I tried so hard, Ezra, to work with you. I just got no messages back.
Ezra, I love you, but yeah, it was a little rough.
No, I didn't.
I will say if the vote tied the round I left, one of Fabi and I were probably nominating you, Mike. that was just from working closely with Eleanor, and that's kind of something we were talking about. I was like, okay, not me.
Well, I would just be like, hey, Mike, good. I'm excited to actually play a game with you. And you're just like,
I would be like,
3 days later. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I responded to this.
Mike was the hardest person to pin down what circle they were in, though. Like, I had no idea what circle you were in for most of the game. That you were like one of the people I was like, that's part of why I was like, I don't know where he is. He gotta go.
Well, I tell people all the time, Eleanor, do I strike any of you as the kind of guy who plans?
No,
No, you show up sometimes in full costume. Like,
I just do things. Like,
But just to be honest, Mike, you could see in my pro chat, like for the first 3 or 4 rounds, I had planned to go to final 2 with you, but you were giving me nothing. And I was like, even at some point, I was like, do you think Amy and Mac could work together? Because it was obvious. And he just said, oh, I hope not. Like nothing. I was like, that guy doesn't.
What else was there to say? I don't know.
No, but I mean, at some point, you're like, oh, the guy wants to work with me, maybe.
I don't pick up subtlety very well, and
Yeah.
you gotta be like, bitch, we're going to the final 2 together.
Because
Okay,
I had to choose Amy because you weren't giving me nothing, but you were my first choice to begin with.
Hey,
To be
God that
honest.
didn't stick.
I have one question though, Patrice, and this is like totally just like I don't want this to sound as rude as it's probably gonna sound. You said you were upset I didn't vote for you in the one round of the game though, but you voted me out of the collective in the first round. So like I kind of figured like you just
Yeah,
didn't.
that's true. I forgot about that, but it's true.
I
Yeah.
didn't forget about that.
Yeah. But I
That's
saved
what
you.
I-
Yeah, but I
that's
saved
what
you
I-
3 times.
Oh, we're
So
cool. We're cool.
no,
We're
I think I
fine.
did. I could have deserved a vote.
No, we're
but
fine.
That's all right.
We're cool. But that's what I like. I like bringing up old shit. So
Yeah.
we're
But
fine.
yeah,
It's all
I was really I wanted to work with you more than you think.
It's fine. What next time?
Yeah.
Mac, where's the drag race background? Bring it back, please.
I got a message saying that someone hated it, so I changed it.
Literally, like all the people at my dive bar know I play this game, and they don't really, only like 2 of them watch, but it's Julia. But literally one of like the people that I was like telling about it texted me, and they were like, I love the drag race background that one person has. And I was like, yeah, that's Mac.
I am a man of tastes. That's
Yeah.
why I'm dating Jeremy.
Oh, T. Oh, that was so cute.
Yeah.
It was kind of icky.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't have to try to get votes anymore.
Good timing because
Oh,
I'm here.
Oh, sweetie.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
It is now the time to reveal the votes. For the last time this season. But we have to keep things interesting, right?
It's a mystery.
No, it's not a mystery. That would be crazy. No, we read our votes Big Brother style, so I will be announcing who each juror voted for. So, the first vote from Fabi is for Eleanor to win season 6 of The Collective. Next vote, Jacob has voted for Aaliyah to be the winner of this season as The Collective. That is 1-1. Mike V has voted Mike V has voted for Eleanor to win the game. So that is 2-1. Benji has voted for Aaliyah to win the game. So we are 2-2. Ezra has voted for Eleanor. So we are 3-2 for Eleanor. Marvin has voted for Aaliyah. Which puts us at 3-3. I can do math. 3-3. Grace has voted for Aaliyah. So we're 4-3. Mac and Patrice have both voted for Aaliyah. So by a vote of 6-3, congratulations, Aaliyah. You are the winner of season 6 of The Collective Mysterium. If you'd like to give us any words.
Don't have words. Like, I'm actually gonna cry. Like, it's so weird because I don't like have emotions about things often, except for the crazy emotions I normally do have. But this is like honestly one of the funnest games I've ever played. I've like been playing games for like a year now, and I've gotten so close so many times. So like it really means a lot to like finally actually get there. Hello. So thank you guys so much. This was so fun. Thank you. Eleanor, you did wonderful. And like I would have voted
Yes.
for you. You played amazing as well. Thank you.
Yes. Huge congratulations to Aaliyah, but also a huge congratulations to Eleanor. 3 votes is nothing to snuff at. This was a tight decision. All of the jurors were back and forth throughout the night. And I think you also played an incredible game. And I think you should be also very proud of yourself, even if you're coming away in second place.
Oh, I am very proud of myself. Don't worry.
If you want to give any words as well, you're welcome to.
Oh, I'll just say thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Aaliyah. Thank you to Benji for being my circle. Thank you to Ray also for being in my circle. Thank you to production for putting on this incredible game. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in another game, and hopefully that'll set me up better.
Final 2, Eleanor.
Yeah, let's do it, Mike. Why not?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Period. The collective bringing people together. All right. This is the part of the night where we will transition into our awards and our little reunion time.
Are we
Do we normally
streaming
stream
this or
this?
no?
Yeah, do we normally stream this part or no?
I don't
can't
think we do,
remember.
honestly.
I
don't
I
think
think
so
I remember all the way
either.
back in season 1 we haven't. So unless it changed, I don't remember y'all doing it.
Well,
Okay,
I will
let's
say
cut
this
the
for
stream.
if anyone is watching this, thank you so much for all the viewers who have been watching this season. There are a few viewers who have been so into the season, and we appreciate you immensely.